Hello, this is Tiger speaking.
Hello, Tiger. Guten Tag, mein lieber Freund. It's Rowan from Silver Tiger Media.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Oh, excellent. Geht es dir gut?
Mir geht's sehr gut. Und dir?
Oh, very fine indeed. Dankeschön. It's tremendous to speak with you. Thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for doing this.
Pleasure indeed. Obviously, you're very dear to our hearts here in Australia after working so closely with Wolfmother.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. There's a large delay, Christoph. I do apologise.
Yeah, no problem.
I have to ask you from the outset, how on earth did you make it through 2013? Most people would have packed up and quit.
2013 was a year where we basically were on the road. 2012 as well, and 2014 as well. So we've been constantly on the road for the last 2 years, and finally, when the last year was over, we had time to sit down and work in the studio again. So it was the first time that we were back in our city and had the time to sit down and work on new stuff.
Indeed, and congratulations on Berlin. It's a fantastic accomplishment.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Obviously, the city of Berlin is a central theme, but what does the story tell for the band?
Christoph and me, Lupus and me, moved to Berlin separately about 10 years ago when we kind of got stuck in our old little village and felt like we needed a change and we wanted to go to Berlin because we want to get more involved with music and not have this regular life everybody else have. And
yes.
Then after 5 years where we tried and struggled, we met each other and were able to form this band. So the whole story of the band is like just deeply connected to Berlin. And after this, this 5 years that it has been now with the band, when we wrote this record, we finally had the time to, maybe sit down and like let the last years pass a little bit. And we realized that just because of that, it might be a good song title because we came from other parts of Germany. Simon came from France, and probably this story couldn't have happened in another city in Germany.
Absolutely. And your cover of Reich der Traum by Nico is tremendous, particularly Auf Deutsch gesungen. I realise Nico is buried in Berlin, but why the decision to include the track?
The first idea was to, put a song with German lyrics on the end of the record because it just fitted with the record title so well. But we wanted to have a song about Berlin actually, and we just couldn't find one that we really liked. And we were like doing research for weeks and weeks and weeks, and just there was no song that we wanted to cover until one day Simon came into the studio with this amazing song of Nico, and then everybody was instantly like, oh yeah, we could do this one. And then we instantly started working on it. And I love the lyrics, I love the feeling of the melody, and we try to give it like a little twist and make it sound different, and that's how we went into this heavy droney direction with it.
And did a wonderful job too. It sounds tremendous and such a beautiful way to complete the album.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Tracks like Circles in My Mind take me personally right back to the 70s classic. You must be so very proud of the entire album.
I definitely am, because I think, of course, the first record is you don't have a point of reference. You don't know what you're doing. It's just like it just happens. And then the follow-up one, we were maybe maybe somehow close to the first record still. And with this one, I think for the first time we really proved that we are good songwriters as well, and that we took all the time to really figure out all the details and have like a different feeling for every song. So I think this is our first masterpiece.
I think you're absolutely right. The entire album has me wanting to listen and wander the streets of Berlin. Is the wording on the side of the aircraft on the album cover of significance? We recorded the record in a building of the old Tempelhof Airport where they had this the candy bombers going from Germany to West Berlin to supply them with food. Yes.
And it has a greater history. It was the airport that has been built in the Third Reich, and now it's just the airport is shut down, and it's a big free landscape where you can just walk around, and it's like a park now, and so it somehow reflects the history of Berlin. So that's why we took that plane on the cover.
Oh, tremendous. And the cover art is tremendous in itself, and it prompts many thoughts. But what does the scene represent, particularly the two people in the reflection of the glasses?
This idea comes from basically the collaboration with the photographer that we choose.
Yes.
And she's just, I think, a great artist for herself. She has a very distinct feeling for pictures, and we're really happy to work with her. And, the girl on the cover with the glasses should also be a reflection like that everybody can see the city differently that he lives in, and I think it goes especially well for Berlin because there's so many things you can do. There's so many niches for everybody, and this is maybe just how we feel about living in the city, and everybody else might have a different point of view. So that's the idea with the girl and the glasses.
Oh, that's beautifully put. Thank you very much for that, Tiger. Your hard panning technique works so very well. Is the sound that you record in order to replicate your live sound?
We always try to do that, but we always had a different approach for each record. Again, with this one, we recorded live in one room with like the drums and the amplifiers in one room, but I think maybe for the first time we really managed to also put that energy on the tape in that way. I think it has never worked better than with this one.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I just finished a review and wrote in that review that if you close your eyes and sit back, it's like the band are in the room performing just for you.
That's nice, yeah. Thanks.
My pleasure. I have to ask, if I may, about your influences. I have my own ideas, of course, but who would you say have influenced your sound?
I mean, definitely just the period of rock music where in the late 60s and early 70s, like everything flourished and exploded, and there was the psychedelic movement and the hard rock movement, but somehow it was all still one genre. There was no really boundaries between hard rock, psychedelic rock, and metal or whatever emerged out of that. And I think that was interesting because there's still a need and an interest for handmade rock music, and I think it's going to stay like that as well. So my personal approach to music is not being retro, but just we just do what we feel like, and we are just a rock band that wants to somehow take that tradition in this time, and also, of course, finding our own sound, how we, the three of us, work together. So, yeah, transforming what those guys did back then in this period of time. I think that's our inspiration.
Wonderful. And I'm so pleased you say that, because a lot of people have tried to put you into a genre. But I think you're a genre all your own. It's a modern retro sound with a contemporary fresh edge. It's tremendous. Would you say you have a genre or not really?
I don't prefer to put it like that. I prefer to say a band is open for genres and always just express their own personality and can go to different places with that. So I don't care if it's retro or if it's metal or whatever, because it kind of limits yourself if you say so for yourself. And I prefer to say we can do everything we want, and it's just about connecting together. And wonderful. Then you can go wherever you want.
Yes, indeed. Beautifully said. Now, with Dragon joining the band formally, he is obviously the perfect fit.
Definitely. I mean, I'm super happy that we finally were able to record a full studio record with him, and I was like eagerly awaiting that. And I think he has proven that that he's a great bass player and that he has a great taste and great sense of for music, and it was definitely a good thing to have him.
Most certainly. And look, the big question: what are the chances of an Australian tour in the near future?
Hopefully in 2016. Like, we are booked out until the end of 2015, and then I guess we need a little break in January and February, and there's definitely the plan to come back to Australia then.
Oh, terrific. And look, I hope you'll forgive this question, Tiger, but I'm wondering if it was difficult getting established in Berlin.
I mean, of course it's difficult, but then again, you never know. And also in the beginning, we just didn't give a fuck, you know. I mean, we didn't expect anything to happen with the music, and we just started rehearsing and started playing a couple shows. And I think we had the luck that we could establish somehow. But I also think it's not good to start a band with a lot of expectations, because you should more focus on yourself and try to write good songs and then to see what happens.
Absolutely, and wonderful advice for new bands, I think. I have to ask, you've toured extensively with some very big names. Do you have a favourite gig that you personally find stands out in your memory?
Definitely. That's also funny, because it was with the Australian band Wolfmother. We played a show with them in Mexico City, and that was just overwhelming, because it was like one of the biggest club shows we ever had, and the Mexican people just went crazy for our music, and I didn't expect that. Like, it was just a crazy show.
Oh, wonderful. And look, I have so many questions for you, but unfortunately we've run out of time. It's tremendous to speak with you, and an absolute pleasure. We look forward to any opportunity we might have to see you in 2016, and congratulations again on Berlin. It's fantastic.
Yes, thank you so much. I hope it's going to work out in 2016 to go back to Australia. I'm really, really looking forward to that.
That'd be wonderful. We'd be looking forward to it as well. Tiger, thank you so much for your time. Dankeschön. And take care.
Yeah, you take care too. It was a pleasure to talk to you. Hopefully see you very soon.
Hopefully too. Thank you very much, Tiger.
Yeah, thank you too. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Okay.